Let's go pill a sheep. Good morning. It's Saturday. It's like 7:30 in the morning. And you may be saying, why are you up so early on a Saturday? Because I have a lot to do today. Yesterday we closed on our new house, and today we're going to go and mow the yard because it's a jungle there. But first, I've got to take my oldest son to football practice, and then I have to go to the farm and I have to pill our sheep Clover. She has been very sick. So about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks, I started noticing that she had swelling on her face and it was not pretty. And there's a condition called barber pole worms that sheep often get, and I thought that she had it. So barber pole worms are notoriously hard to fight. When a sheep has barber pole worms, their face starts to swell, like around their jowls and their throat, and just their whole face starts to swell. So I treated her with the medication that our vet prescribed for her. So a week went by and she was acting fine, but the swelling in her face wasn't really going down. So about a week and a half later, I treated her again. Well, after I treated her again, Mom and David went over to the farm to feed her while I was at work, or feed all of them while I was at work. And David has my mom FaceTime me and he says, Mom, look at the sheep. Her face is huge. And overnight, her face had doubled to the size of a sheep face. So I immediately call the vet. I send her pictures and I'm like, what is going on? Barber pole worm should not be acting like this. What is happening? Did she get into something? Is she allergic to something? And the vet comes back with, no, that's a snake bite. To which I respond with, you've got to be kidding me. I've never seen a snake on the property. Don't think I'm not dumb. Obviously there's snakes there. We just don't really have them. Like they're not prolific on our property. So she said, what happens is that a sheep gets bitten and then their face will swell and the swelling will kind of go down and nothing will really happen. And then all of a sudden it'll flare back up and they end up with this huge infection. So she asked me, how's her breathing? And I said, well, it's raspy. And she's like, you need to get her here as soon as you can. So I leave work early. I go to the farm and I throw the cage in the back of the truck, pick the sheep up, throw her in the back of the truck, and we drive an hour to our vet. You may be saying, an hour to the vet? Why would you go to a vet an hour away? Well, we do not live in an we live in an urban area, not a rural area. There are no vets in our area that see sheep or goats. So we found this lady, shout out to Dr. Miller, who is an hour away from us, but she's a traveling vet. So she'll come to the farm and she's also willing to take on our animals in an emergency. We finally get her there and we pull her out of the truck. Dr. Miller's like, oh my gosh, I can hear her breathing from here. And she was inside of her barn. So we get her out and she immediately takes a temperature on her and it was 108.4. Sheep's normal temperature are about like 101 to 102. So 108 is very bad. And according to the vet, that is not conducive to living. So we immediately start pouring alcohol on her back to get her to cool down. The vet said that what that does, it's better than water because it evaporates where water will stick around and kind of get steamy. So for quick cooling, she said to do alcohol. So we started getting her cooled down, put her in front of a fan. Dr. Miller started giving her antibiotics and antivirals and all of the, I don't even know what all she gave her, but she just started. She ended up putting a catheter in her neck and Clover got hospitalized for the next week. It was a little touch and go for a while. She responded to the medication really well. And then the next day she kind of had a setback. So at that point, Dr. Miller wanted to run blood. So she put a rush on that. And it turns out that Clover had a little bit of kidney damage from the fever. Because of the kidney damage, she was becoming anemic. So Dr. Miller kept her another night and continued to give her fluids and flush out her kidneys. And by the next day, her kidneys were doing much better. She's expected to recover fully from any kidney damage and shouldn't have any long-term effects from this. So the vet sent home some oral medication for us to give her every day. So that is what I'm getting ready to go do right now. If you're wondering why I'm going to pill a sheep, that's it. So now that you know the background, let's go to the farm and pill a sheep.
How's she doing today?
She's okay. Yes. He's down getting another. Did you keep the pill down? Hi. Sad girl. I don't think she's gonna let me touch her anymore. She's like, no, we're done.
She hasn't spit it out. She swallowed it.
Yeah.
Now she's gonna poop some.
Now she's gonna poop about it. All right, you're fine. Good girl. Thanks for taking your medicine.